Hi, this is Alex, Christian, and Uni, and we're going to be presenting the Berlin Airlift during the Cold War.
The major players during the Berlin Airlift were the US, Britain, France, and the USSR. The allies during this were the US, Britain, France versus the USSR.
During the Potsdam Conference in 1945, the Allies divided Germany into four occupation zones. France took the southeast, the US took the south, Britain took the northeast, and the Soviet Union took the east.
The Western powers decided to combine the three western parts of West Berlin, which was US, France, and Britain, by introducing something known as the Deutschmark. The money was completely unique to West Berlin. In combat, the Ostmark was created by Russia.
The USSR realized that their mark was worth nothing, like it had no real exchange rate. So because of this, they realized that if they couldn't have Berlin, no one could. And so that was the start of the blockade. During the blockade, the U.S., who was the main sender of supplies, really hadn't hit their stride. There wasn't much efficiency in it, and so many of the people in East Berlin died.
Later during the blockade, the Soviet party of Germany decided to march to try and adjourn the Berlin Council. Of course, there was some opposition to this. When East Berliners realized that this could cause the U.S. to be driven out, they realized this also meant a lack of supplies for them. 300,000 East Berliners turned up to basically countermarch so the U.S. wouldn't leave.
When the U.S. had finally hit their stride in the efficiency of the U.S. or the Berlin Airlift, planes were coming in and leaving every 45 seconds. This was really detrimental to the USSR because they realized that the U.S. could do this forever.
NATO, which stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was formed in 1949. The prospect of further communist expansion prompted 12 nations, including the United States, to form NATO. Eastern Europe founded the Warsaw Pact, which was a rival alliance, in 1955.
The USSR realized that they have no real way out of this predicament. And so because of that, they stopped the blockade. But after this, they just replaced it with the Berlin Wall.
In the end, East Berlin became a new symbol for democracy along with West Berlin and was used as a fighting piece during the Cold War. This showed off the strength of democracy as they were able to supply East and West Berlin for a long time. This also created some tensions between the USSR and the Western powers. Overall, nowadays, obviously, democracy is a much stronger presence, and it's mostly because of the Berlin Wall and the Berlin Airlift.